We are going to move on to a man that really doesn't need an introduction. I mean, even a deaf person can hear this man because his voice comes from the depth of the deepest of caverns. He booms with authority that can make most people laugh. And at the end of any virtual or live event, the greatest thing is he loses his voice. And when he laughs, he actually sounds like Mickey Mouse.
That's cold. That's cold.
And your screen is turned off, brother. So you need to turn that on.
Is it time to climb?
Almost, brother. This is Mr. James Muller. Muller. Wow. I butchered another name. Man, I'm like 0 for 2 here. But this is my younger brother from another mother. I love this man with everything that I got in me because this guy has the most energy that I thought nobody could surpass me because at one time in my life I had a ton of energy. I was like the freaking Energizer bunny. But when this guy enters a room, he knows how to bring the energy. He knows how to bring the volume and he knows how to make anybody laugh. And his mini man is with him, which is exciting. And with that being said, we're going to hand over the summit to the man that does not need a microphone.
Did you get a pot? All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you're going to climb a mountain, you got to be prepared, right? So what's going on, everybody? Don't worry, I'm not here to rob you all. I'm here to just set an illustration. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? First and foremost, this is my first time gracing everyone with this and being graced to be on this platform. So, Dave, I just want to give some honor to you and say thank you for A, hosting this and creating this event. And also, two, creating an illustration that sometimes we have to be prepared for the things we're ready for. And we also need to be ready for things that we're not prepared for. So that being said, let's rock and roll. Thank you for the invite. I say this not lightly because David had a brilliant idea a couple weeks ago after a short, quick clip conversation that he decided he was going to barrel through all hope and reason and tell me that I didn't wasn't an invite, that I had to be here. And after a few conversations, I am 100% available and ready to go. And I want to thank David for encouraging me to be here because with the theme hope for the holidays, with everything going on the way that's going on, and with business and environment in the world today, we need to be reminded that hope is still very much present even if we don't see it. So that being said, if you are here in the universe of Zoom or the universe of live stream, I want you to understand that this isn't just going to be a talk. This isn't a camera. This isn't we'll say inspirational or motivational. This is a side of me that I seldom get to express, and I want to make sure it's delivered in a way that seldom is experienced. So what I want from everyone is to not think of this as a virtual room. I want you to think about this as an actual room. The lens in front of you is not a camera. It is me sitting across the table from you, talking person to person, one-on-one, as a friend. You've been through things, and you are here because you're looking for something, whether it's hope, inspiration, emotional, community support, life lessons, whatever it is. I want to challenge you for a minute, and I want you to open up, and I want you to accept and be ready for what you came here for. Um, Prepare yourself for what you came here for. And this varies from person to person because obviously everybody's different. And we're running on the theme of hope because we talk about hope. I know what hope is for me. So I'm going to ask everybody one on one. And if you want to type it in the comments, type it in the comments. If you want to type it in live stream, type it in live stream. But what is your definition of hope? I want you to sit, I want you to think about it. And as we're thinking about it, I want to illustrate something for you That's important. Because those who have great hope and those who experience great moments of hope, they know what it feels like to be in situations of complete hopelessness. They know what it's like to feel powerless. They know what it's like to feel helpless. They know what it's like to feel the worst feeling that you could possibly feel, and that's the ability to do nothing, be nothing, say nothing, impact nothing. And I have to give you background on a situation of hopelessness in order to bring you a message that inspires hope from me. My goal is that you get something out of it, and if one person gets an impact in a positive way, then I have officially done the job that I was set out to do. So, I want you to think in a humor way because I can't not be entirely serious this whole time. So, I want you to think Golden Girls meets Blues Clues. That's how we're going to operate this, okay? So, picture this. New Jersey, 2016, early summer. um, in May of 2016, I had the wonderful honor of being able to take care of my adopted great grandfather who lived until 95 years old. And by caretaker, I was his live-in caretaker 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I spent every single day with this man for 2 years. And the journey that I was able to go alongside and experience with this man was nothing short of humbling and incredible. And May 18th, if I'm correct on the date, May 18th, he passed away at 95 with his family around him, surrounded in the hospital room. And it was one of the most beautiful things that I had the honor to be a part of and experience. I say that because we always fall into the busyness of life. We always fall into a area where we forget that life very much can be life. And those moments, I don't call them radical moments, but they're really powerful moments that we experience that remind us just how crazy and fragile life can be. Um, so he passed away, and full disclosure, I am very much a present man in my faith. I love God. I love everything about him, even if I don't always agree. And at that particular time in my life, I was in a position where I could actually perform the ceremony and funeral for my great grandfather, which I had the honor to do. So I got to literally bury this man and give honor to this man in a way that I don't think I would have expressed another, grateful mind or grateful time. Great, great man. Learned a lot of things from him. And after something like that, after a loss, and I'm sure everyone has experienced something, or if you have, or if you've experienced a loss, comment, I've lost. Because it's not always people. Sometimes it's things, sometimes it's places, sometimes it's jobs, sometimes it's experiences. We all know what loss is. We all have our own banner of loss. And for me, this was kind of like the most honorable loss because I got to see the beauty of life in its fullness. 95 is an amazing age. Seeing a man literally live out his life, hopefully I can make it there. Hopefully we get there and do that. It was cool. And then there's well, what's next? What do I do now? Because the person I was taking care of is no longer here. Now I have to learn how to take care of myself all over again. And so from May through September, October, I got to jump into a rebuilding stage of my life. Anybody ever been in a stage of life where they think they need to rebuild everything from the ground up? Hi, welcome. I had to go back into the working world. I had to find another place to stay. I had to, rejoin life in the mainstream, as I like to call it, because that's what we're designed to do, according to most people, is, get a job, get a place, all that fun stuff. So as I'm rebuilding from my experience and landing a job in sales, which was funny, for those of you who know Sleep Number, that was my career of choice right after. Then shortly after that, I was able to get an apartment, which ironically enough was the first permanent place that I ever had on my own. Um, you start to bounce back. And when we're bouncing back from areas or situations where we've lost, it's not always a bad thing, but sometimes we can get mixed up in life. And sometimes we can forget things. And sometimes we run into situations that we're not prepared for. So as I'm rebuilding my life, as I'm putting in the hours and I'm going through the ranks and I'm breaking records in sales, with Sleep Number, um, I'm getting inspired more often to do more things. I'm stepping out of my comfort zone and my shell a little bit more because I was literally in a house for a couple years. I realized that I need to start taking more chances and do things. And around this time, actually, is when I started hitting live on Facebook because I wanted to spread a little more positivity in the world. Because at 2016, I thought, you know what, it's pretty miserable on social. Let's cause an impact. Let's create some noise. Let's make some waves, right? And that has dawned into the whole thing that is now what I do, which is kind of insane. Um, while I was rebuilding my life, while I was getting into scenarios and situations and adventures and learning to truly figure out what I was about and who I was doing, I have some very important people in my life that were currently going through some things within theirs. Now, if you know anything about me, and most of you in this room do, and whoever's watching probably, if you know anything about me, I love my family. I love my parents. I love my sisters. I love everything encompassed with family. I have an undying respect and bond for them, and I'll do anything to the best of my ability to help them. And during the time that I was rebuilding my life, I thought it was okay to be a little bit selfish because you know what? If I can take care of myself, if I can become a better person, if I can level up, I know I'm going to help everybody else around me level up. And for a while, it was great. And while I was going through this transformation, while I was building up my confidence skills to becoming the person that I wanted to be, my younger sister, her name is Morgan, she was going through a very major surgery on the back of her neck that needed to be taken care of in order for her to have improved quality of life. She went into surgery, and the initial surgery was an awesome success. In fact, I think she was out in a couple weeks after that, so she was running around doing her normal thing. And while I was in my apartment and grinding and hustling, I got to see her a few times. We had to have a few conversations. We were talking about things. She was going over her experiences, and life is life. 10 years ago almost, well, 9 years ago actually. And she's talking about what she's going to do. I'm talking about what I'm doing, and we were excited. She's on her way to move to South Carolina because my family was split at the time. My dad and my youngest sister moved to South North Carolina into South eventually. So the family was split. Morgan graduated her adult program in school at 21, so she was ready to move. The only thing we wanted to take care of was the surgery because this surgery was very intricate and best hospitals in the world are up here for this particular thing. So she's going through what she's going through. I'm going what I'm going through. I'm doing everything that I needed to do, and I'm putting in work and hours. And intermittently in September, I'm talking to my sister via FaceTime, and we're going back and forth. And she's complaining she had to go back into the hospital because her wound wasn't healing properly, and there were some things. So it was like a routine check, and she wound up being in there for a while. She started to develop some headaches and those headaches wouldn't go away, and they were trying to figure that out. And meanwhile, I knew she was in good care. She was in with the best doctors. She was handling everything that she needed to handle and doing everything that she needed to do. And I was living life the way that I thought I needed to live life. And I have a particular call that I want to bring reference to. Um, it was a FaceTime call because I picked up extra hours while I was at work. So I'm sitting in a store with no customers. Yes. And she FaceTimes me. And she's, hey, I miss you. How are you? And we're going through the motions and we're talking about things. And I said, oh, this is great. I'm telling her about all my plans. And she goes, hey, when are you going to come visit? Because I'm visiting intermittently. I just haven't visited as much as I wanted to. And she said, hey, can you come visit me today after work? I said, no, I absolutely love to, sweetheart, but I'm just a little too tired you know, um, pulling a 13, 14-hour day. And she's like, oh, okay, I get it. And we're talking back and forth. And she's like, all right, cool. I love you. I'll talk to you later. I said, yeah, no problem. The next day, I'm going through work again and I go home and I hit live and I'm in the middle of a live. And my mom calls me. Go to voicemail. I'm going to finish this up. Okay, cool. So I finish it up and I call my mom. And my mom tells me something happened with your sister. I said, okay. So I drop what I'm doing and I drive to the hospital. I have a question for everyone here because it's important. When is the last time that you realized that something could be the last time? When was the last time that you said, this might be the last time I could talk to this person? When's the last time that you said, maybe this might be the last time I see this person? Long story short, there was a complication with what happened, and she wound up going into a state of a coma, and she had enough damage within her brain to where she wasn't going to recover. And this was the first week of October. Fast forward through the details, 30 days later, we had to make the decision to take her off life support. And at 12:03 in the afternoon, November 7th, 2016, my sister left this world at 21. Now, if you lose something so important to you, you don't bounce back. You don't sit with it and pretend it's okay. You can really lose yourself in who you are and what you are. And the things that kept coming back to me that make me felt hopeless and make me feel powerless in those situations were the last time I talked to my sister, I told her I was too tired. And I say that because there's a great sense of hopelessness there. It was shell shock for the months after that. Um, we rallied together as a family. We got through what we needed to get through. And I had the opportunity to actually perform my sister's funeral because I was in a spot that I wanted to be in. And my family thought it'd be funny if I dressed up like a Catholic priest and wear the collar, so there was a little bit of humor in that too. And yes, there are photos around on Facebook. I see people looking already. Um, so wow, I heavy-handed this with a lot of hopelessness, but guys, I want you to think about something. Hope isn't always wrapped in joy, and it's not always wrapped in positivity. Sometimes hope is just a really quiet decision in your mind to just live one more day and move one more day, get through one more day. For everyone out here, my definition of hope is the intuitive feeling that your soul gives you in great moments of distress or disaster that tell you inside your heart that things will be okay no matter what they look like. So for me, hope didn't just come in this barrel raging, oh, it's going to be okay. It came into moments of quietness, moments of joy, moments of pain, moments of frustration. It came into I was in the industry of filming and I filmed weddings and over 300 weddings that I've filmed. My sister had a playlist that we were listening to on the day she passed. And one particular song, the song she actually left this world from, is the one that has played 275 times at a wedding in over 300. Moments where I'm sitting and realizing that even in great pain and even in great moments of loss and shock and shell, um, that there are moments of gladness and appreciation, and there are great things that can come up. And I've noticed that hope is a process. Hope isn't instantaneous. It's not a light switch that you can flip. It's not something that people can tell you. Because trust me, as a person who believes in Christ and in the Bible, the last thing I want to hear in the Bible is refreshing verses that should make me feel better about things, knowing that I'm going through something so horrifically horrendous. But I'll tell you what sticks with me. Romans 8:28, it says, and we know that all things work for good to those who love God according to their purpose and his purpose. And it's not we think, it's we know. And I want to show one of the greatest moments of hope that I had recently. And she just so happens to be right here. Ah. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you'll indulge me for a second, this is my daughter, Zoe. I bring her in to be very intentional for a reason. Moments are moments. Moments will always be moments. And no matter how you feel within those moments, hope always sits in those moments if you allow them to be present and be open, whatever your definition is. My sister has been gone 9 years. November 7th, 2025 was the 9-year anniversary that she was gone. November 7th, 2025 is the day that Zoe came into this world. Even crazier, my sister and I were 9 years apart. 9 years later, my daughter arrives. I'm not a man that believes in coincidence. I am not a man that's like, oh, wow, that's pretty ironic. I'm a man that shows you, or will hopefully demonstrate for you, that even when it feels horrible, even if you don't understand, even if you're confused, uncomfortable, angry, depressed, if you feel isolated, if you feel alone, make the quiet decision to go one more day. Make one more phone call, make one more actionable decision to change the state of which you live. And I say that to say this, guys. Hope isn't always dressed in sunshine and rainbows. It's a process, and that process is your choice. We could choose to be bitter or better, but at the end of the day, just know it's there. And I just wanted to say thank you. I appreciate you. You're not alone in this journey. You have people around you that are willing to help you and reach out to you. And David has built an amazing community with MBM, and it's some of the most overwhelming support that I've ever experienced within my life. And I want you all to know that you can change lives by simply being quiet enough to survive one more day.
That is the power of faith. That is the power of belief. And that is the power of hope by taking it one step at a time, as James said, and not giving up hope. And that beautiful little girl, the way she's looking up at you was pretty intense there. You can tell she's going to
Oh,
be a daddy's girl.
oh. Yeah, she's pretty
And
awesome, guys.
I absolutely love what you just delivered. And ladies and gentlemen, this is the first time that Mr. Mueller has joined us on one of these summits. And I will say, that was a pretty epic outfit that you wore at the beginning.
Oh,
To
thanks.
bring it all home like this, bro, absolutely crushed it. One thing I can tell you, um, your sister is extremely proud of you. She's standing up there in heaven next to my brother and to all the ones that we have lost, smiling down on you right now. So be proud of what you have built within your own life. And your sister is a living or a testament to what you have built within yourself, your family, and the legacy that you're going to live now, legacy in motion with your two kids. I'm going to open this up to the VIP room because I could go on and 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 on, but I won't. I sound like a broken record. But I'm going to open this up to the amazing VIP guests and our speakers. And who would like to say something to Mr. James?
I'd like to say something. James, I don't have a question. I just want to, from the depth of my soul, say thank you. Thank you for being you. Thank you for sharing that just from the depth of your soul. And thank you for just the impact you have in the world by the ripples that come out just from you being yourself. And sometimes the courage it takes to be fully yourself in a world that doesn't always see it or appreciate it. That's kind of the ultimate in embodying hope. Even when it isn't pretty, even when it isn't sunshine and rainbows. So thank you for taking that one day at a time. Thank you for putting one foot in front of the other when it was hard to, because the entire world is benefiting because you did.
Thanks, brother. I appreciate you massively as always.
I would second that. I don't see any. Go ahead, Sierra.
No, James, you know how much I love and adore you. We've become really close lately, and I'm going to echo what Josh said. I think there needs to be more men like you out here loving on your family, your devotion to your family is just such a beautiful thing to witness. And Eric and I have had this conversation too. We need more men coming out and being nurturing and loving and caring. So thank you for being you.
Thank you, Sarah. I appreciate that.
And I'm going to piggyback off of that, James. There are not a lot of men out there like you that are nurturing. And I seriously take that to heart because I have, over the years, have seen men that claim to be nurturing, but behind the scenes are not nurturing. And all of us know your heart. So you are that man. So take that to heart. Raquel, go ahead.
Raquel.
Hi. I'm sorry, my eyes hurt really bad. So I was talking to somebody earlier. He's like, "You look like you belong here with me in LA."
I was going to
This
say, were you on a stage performing for Hollywood, getting ready to go into a movie?
well, let's just pretend, let's just say yes. But my eyes are hurting so bad, and I did not want to miss any of this as much as possible. But James, hello, my friend. It's been a minute since I've seen you live. You're an amazing man. I'm a mega fan of yours. And what I was thinking when you were speaking is the reminder we take so many things for granted, and tomorrow is not promised. And even though God's best for us is to live a long, healthy, prosperous life, life also happens, and it's not fair. But it's a reminder of like just take it one moment at a time. And it's for somebody who attempted was in the process of taking her own life 4 different times. Um, I had to learn that lesson too. So it was just a reminder to slow down, breathe, and just anchor into hope in the moment, moment to moment. And I'm so happy for you. And Zoe's gorgeous. Thank you for sharing her with us today and reminding us that life is beautiful, even when it's chaotic all around us. I love you, my friend.
I love you too, Raquel, and thank you. You're amazing as always. I'm a mega fan of you too.
Beautiful. Thank you, Raquel. Eric, do you have something you'd like to
Ja-
say?
Yeah, I was patiently waiting. James, you're amazing. I echo what everybody had said. Um, you're truly inspiring. You can tell your authenticity when you let the world see you is true. Like there is the love that you have, the authenticity, the strength, the comfort, like you're all those things. And uh, the way that you pull that together in this, in what you just gave, both meta, like you're talking about hope, and then like bringing your daughter in was just super cool. So well done. And as always, I love you as a brother, and I'm so excited to see what the future has.
Thanks, brother. I love you too, man. You're amazing, and like I said, like you're an incredible human. So right back at you. I appreciate it.
I would second every second one of what everybody said there. And I just want to read this that Hudson from Unleashing Now said, "You have a heart of gold, James. The world needs more of you. God bless, bro." And again, I second that. James, when I heard a little piece of this when you shared this a couple weeks ago, I knew I was not going to take a no from an answer from you.
Well, I know the phone calls prove
And
it.
because your story, your heart, and that epic smile of yours, the world needs to hear this. Though just the generosity that you show all of us, you always make all of us feel like family, no matter where we're at in life. And I just want to thank you for joining us for the first time. And I'll be coming at you again for more future summits because you seriously do have that type of energy that when you enter the room, if I'm tired as a zombie, my energy somehow just goes woof, woof, like a firework. I don't know why I made that noise, but that's what a firework sounds like in my head. But seriously, dude, thank you, brother, for joining us today. And I think your daughter wants some daddy time. And I think Lauren's going to try to jump through the screen to try to steal her. So thank you for being vulnerable with us, being real with us, and making me cry. You're a powerhouse, and let's catch up later this week, okay?
Absolutely. And thanks again for having me, man. It was awesome. It was overdue. I appreciate it, but I can see why. It was time. And yeah, I'll still be around, but you guys, thank you. I appreciate every single one of you in your comments, and I'll get back to all of you as soon as I can.
Thanks, brother. Love you, man. Love to the
Love you
family.
too.